Anand, I hope I'm audible to you, dear.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. So, if you remember in the last lecture, we created, this list, these lists, right? And we used the hardcore coding method also. And after that, I told you about how you can use this builder method of Kiwi for developing, this list view. So now the next thing that we're going to work on is, we are going to develop a table kind of thing. And for that, we'll be using hardcore coding method. So for now, I am removing this code from here. And I also do not require this builder method. So I'm removing it. I do not want this method also. Yeah, so that's it. Let's start coding the table. So, we have something called data tables in Kivymd. Now, how can we import that data table? So we can write here kivymd dot uix and then data tables. Data tables. So everything needs to be small and then import. So inside this data tables, we have something called MD data table, right? Then we can come down and here we can, define the code inside this build function. So we already have a screen over here, uh, screen, okay. And then we can just put a variable. Let's say, let's name it as table, not label, because it's not relevant. So I'm taking table for now. Then we can use this MD table. And now suppose you want to, define the columns for the table. So the property that you have to make use of is column data, right? So with this, you can set the names of the fields of your table. Now, how to do that? So you need to put these brackets. So it accepts basically a list, right? So you need to pass a list as a parameter, or you can say as a value to this particular parameter. And then inside it, you can, put the names of all the fields you want to see getting reflected on the topmost row in your table. So the first field is, let's say, food, and then we need to define the size of this field. So for controlling the size, we have something called DP. Okay, and from where can you get this DP? So it's not there in Kivymd, it's there in Kiwi, right? There is something called Kiwi.metrics, inside which you can find DP. Now here we can use DP like this. So basically it's a function, it's a parameterized function, and that's the way you can pass a value to it. Right, so we have successfully defined one field for our table. Now if suppose you want to define another field, how you will do it? So you just have to copy this thing and then you can put a comma here. And after that, just a second. Yeah, and here we can just paste it and let's just name it as categories. Okay, and I think that will be fine. So we have we are going to have two fields in our table, and let's now add this table to our screen. So we are going to make use of the same method, screen dot add widget, because it's a widget. So that's the way we can add it to our screen table. And finally, we are returning the screen. Let's save the changes and run the code and see whether we'll be able to get the output or not. Are you able to see this output over here, dear?
Yes, sir.
So the table is visible to us, right? Now, let me close it. So we have the names of the fields. Now, if you have to suppose put some data, you want to define some data for these fields, how you will do it? So for defining the fields, we use column data. And if you have to define the rows or the data for these columns, so you can use row data for that. Now, where to put it and how you can use it, that's what I'm going to tell you. So what you have to do,
Yes.
this rectangular bracket where it is getting closed, you need to put a separator here. because this is where this column data's value is ending, right? We have, we have provided this whole thing as a value to this parameter. So this is where it is ending. And right after that, you need to put a separator. And after that, you can write something like row data like this. And then again, you need to put an equal to sign. So the way we have used column data, in the same way, we need to use this row data also, right? So the concept is very much similar. So I'm copying this whole thing and I'm going to put it over here like this, right? Now, whatever data you want to pass to these fields, you can just type it over here like this. Suppose in the first row, you want to see burger. And let's say here, you want to see, let's pick up oats, right? And then let's just change the values over here. So if we'll use DP, let's see what is going to happen, whether it will consider DP, whether it will be able to give us the required output or not if we use DP like this. Let's just check it out. So I'm running the code. Okay, I'm getting the output. See how beautiful
Yes,
this
sir.
table is looking. So that's the way you can use raw data. And now if suppose you do not want to use DP, you can simply pass the values for your fields like this also. Suppose you want to pass 300 pixels as a value to it. So that in this way also, I think you can pass it. Let me just try it out. Uh, Maybe I'm wrong, but yes, I think we can pass it like this also. Yeah, we can pass the values using double inverted commas method also, right? So that way you can create a table. Let me just pass the code to you in the chat box so that you can also try it out. This is the code. Just give it a try and let me know if you're getting the correct output or not. Okay, Anand, I hope you have understood you're getting the output here.
Yes, sir.
So a window is something with the help of which you can control the size of your screen, and then screen helper, and that's the what we call it, uh, structure you have to keep in mind when you are making a mobile application using Kivymd. So the first thing that comes is screen, and then the second thing is layout. And after that, you need to define the orientation. Now, whatever you want to put in your layout, that's what you can define it like this, right? So I want a MD toolbar, I want a label. So I've defined these two things like this, and then we can call the screen. Then we can call the string using load string method like this. Fine. Let's now add a. Let's make it responsive. Now there is something called left action items. Okay. Now how to
Yes,
use
sir.
it? How to use it? So we can come down and here we can use left action. It should be in small, sorry, left action and then items, and let's put a colon because equal to doesn't work with builder. And here inside it, do you know about lambda functions of Python, dear? We
Yes,
work with
sir.
lambda functions. Chalo, that's great if you have worked with lambda functions. So we are going to use lambda, and we use lambda with action. Sorry, I didn't catch that, dear. You're saying something?
No.
Okay. So, app.navigation draw. So this is the whole syntax you have to keep in mind while using action items. Now, what it will give us, let me show you that. Okay, so I'm coming down here and let me just define a function over here. So let's make it define, and this is a function, and I'm
Yes,
going
sir.
to put it here. I'm going to put the code of this function over here, and it should be a self function. And here we can say print, and let me just print my own name for now, Gaurav Kumar Jain. Now, if I will save the changes and run the code, let's see what will happen. So, are you able to see this burger icon over here? burger menu item.
Yes, sir.
Where,
Yes, sir.
which code, which thing is giving this icon to us? It is this left action.
Left action item.
Absolutely right. Now, if you will change it to right action items, what will happen then?
Yes, sir.
See,
It will come in the right side.
will come in the right side. Absolutely right. Dear. So, this is something we can do with the help of action items. So for now, I am using left action items. And then I would like to define another action item. Let's keep it on the left. Sorry, let's keep, sorry, what is happening? Yeah, let's keep it on the right side for now. Right, am I not able to remove it? Yeah, right action items, and let's just change it to clock. Okay, I would like to see a clock kind of thing getting reflected on the right side. Now, if I'll just save the changes and run the code, let's see what will happen. So there is a clock over here and there is a menu item over here. Now, if I will click this clock, what will happen? Let's see. So see, my name is coming in this console panel. Similarly, if I'll click this item over here, again, my name is there in the console panel. So, with this help of Lambda function, I'm able to connect these items with this function. And the moment you will click these items, this function will be interpreted by the interpreter. It will execute this code and we'll get the output in the console panel. So that is how you can make them responsive. Now, if suppose
Yes, sir.
if you want to, sorry, I need to get rid of this. I need to get rid of this. Yeah. Now, if suppose you want to add some, make this header more appealing, look more appealing. So you can add some elevation to it. How to elevate it? So using elevation, there is a parameter called elevation, and let's just pass a value for it, 20. So if I'll run the code, are you able to see this nice shadow thing getting reflected over here?
Yes.
So,
Yes,
that's
sir.
how you can make it look more appealing, right? Oh,
Yes, sir.
now Anand, I have a question for you. And the question is, if I have to change the color of the entire mobile application to red, for this,
Yes.
what can we do?
Primary palette.
Absolutely right. Great, dear.
Yes.
Theme, then
Self
see.
dot.
After this,
Primary palette.
pre-palette. Absolutely
Equal
right.
to
Equals to then
red.
red. Right. Let me make the changes and run the code and check the output. So see, that is how we can play with the color of the mobile applications elements. Now let's add another element to our mobile applications. So what can I do? I think if I copy this code from here and I can simply put it here like this. And this time I'm going to add a bottom application bar. So this is a toolbar, and for adding a toolbar in the bottom, the what we call it, the keyword is MD bottom app bar. Okay, remember these keywords.
Yes.
Fine. Now let me save the changes and run the code. I'm going to get an error because the bottom spelling is not correct. Bottom. Sorry. Control S, Control B. Why that bottom bar to us? MD bottom app bar. This is perfectly fine. Okay, I need to add this MD toolbar also, no? To this bottom app bar. Then only we'll be able to see the entire thing. So this is how we can do it. Saving the changes, running the code. Let's see what we'll get. So see how beautiful this application is looking now. Right. Let me pass the code to you.
Yes, sir.
This is the code. Just run it on your device and check it whether it is giving you the correct output or not. By the time you're checking the code, let me just make some changes here. So I would like to see the title as help, and I do not want any write action item. So I'm removing it for now. And let me just add something here in place of elevation. I would like to add a mode. Okay, and let me just show you what this mode will give us. So if it is end, and if I'll run it now, so this is what I'm getting at present. I'm